be amongst all of you this evening. This is my second visit to Australia. Last time we came in January. So it's happy and we like this place. We like the people here. Everything is very wonderful. So today I've been asked to speak about happy married life, or rather how to be happily married in Krishna consciousness, or rather how to have a hassle-free journey back home, back to Godhead. So in fact the scriptures speak a lot about it. Just today morning we were discussing with the devotees generally while having breakfast that how the standard of living and the cost of living in Australia is very expensive, and we were trying to compare with India, and then a thought came in my mind that, well, Lakshmi is required. If you want to stay in this place, you have to work hard and get some Lakshmi, and Bhagavatam says how you can get Lakshmi. So Srila Prabhupada, in one of his purports, says that if you want to have Lakshmi in your house, then husband and wife should not fight. I mean, I'm not making it up, it's there in the purport. Srila Prabhupada says that in a house where the husband and wife have no argument, and that house, Lakshmi Narayan stays. So in Srimad Bhagavatam, we see so many amazing examples of happy married couples. We see Kardama Muni and Devahuti, they were happily married. We see Aditi and Kashyapa Muni, they were happily married. We see Lord Ram and Sita. We see Lord Krishna had 16,108 wives. We see Chavan Rishi and Sukhanya, and so many examples. And we never hear that Devaki had any issue with Rukmini or Satyabhama. Neither Kunti Devi had any issue with Draupadi. So there were no in-laws problem. There was no problem in the marriage. So why is that? In fact, Aditi and Kashyapa Muni had so many wives. He had 17 wives. But they were all very happy. Krishna had 16,108 wives. Ambarish Maharaj had so many wives, but they were all happy. So what's the reason? Why were they so happy? And how did they get time to be Krishna conscious? How did they get time to do bhakti with children and so many household responsibilities? So today, in the short talk here, I'll share with you a short acronym, Grihasta, 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 how we can take certain practical tips and make our life Krishna-centered and happy, and we can have a hassle-free journey back home, back to Godhead. In our personal life, we've been married for last 27 years, and my husband is from West Bengal, and I'm from Gujarat. He's a Bengali and I'm Gujarati. And those people who know us personally can vouch for it. We have nothing in common. If I like chapati, he likes rice. If I like spicy, something. Everything about each other is different. But so far so good, we are happily married. So I feel the reason is, if you see the map of India, between West Bengal and Gujarat, there is Vrindavan. If you keep Krishna between the couple, if you keep the divine couple, then everything is wonderful.
Sorry, I just want to announce there is a separate class for kids.
Okay. So there is a separate class for kids.
So if the kids want to do some coloring activities, then they can actually go to the next room. I'll make the parents more focused.
Yeah, that's all right.
One time you can do more? Can tell this kid.
These guys wants to stay in the class. He wants to stay here? Okay. All right. So, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, between the couple, when there is this divine couple, then we can be happy. At the same time, in this world, nobody can be perfect, or rather we can't be perfectly happy, but we can be reasonably happy, because in this world nobody is Sarvaguna Sampanna. Everybody will have some or the other, क्या कहते हैं हिंदी में खामियाँ, some or the other, everybody, nobody's paripurna. In fact, back in Vizag, many times the devotees, especially the youngsters, they come to me with a list. They want to get married. Mataji, I want a girl who should be beautiful, who should be obedient, who should be from good family, who should be educated, who should know cooking. They go on and on. And the boys, they come with a list. The girl should be like that. The girl come with a list. The boy should be like that. He should be rich. He should be humble. He should wash vessels. He should know how to cook. And they go on and on. I sometimes tell them, do one thing, write down all the qualities you want, and I will forward your application to Brahma because he has to create one for you. Because I don't think such kind of a person exists, So we have so many such ideas. In fact, if at all, anytime we just sit and write down what are the qualities that we expect in our spouse, and if we check ourselves, how many of those qualities we have ourselves, we will be surprised. We expect so many things from others, but we may not have those same qualities. So today we will explore in briefly about this acronym Grihasta and what are the practical tips. So G in Grihasta is, we should fix up our goal. That is very important. Aditi and Kashyapa Muni, or the Swayambhu Manu and his wife, why they were all so happy? Because their goal was very much fixed. Our goal is not fixed. What do we want to do? Sometimes we want to become very nice Krishna Bhaktas. Sometimes we feel boring about whole Krishna conscious process. Sometimes we want to be materially very successful. Sometimes we want to do something else. Sometimes we want to do something else. We keep on changing our goal. We are like Abhimanyu. Abhimanyu, he entered the Chakravyuh in the Kurukshetra war, but he didn't know how to come out of the Chakravyuh. Sometimes our life is also like that. We enter the Grihastha life, but we don't know how to come out of it. Come out of in the sense you don't have to take a divorce. Coming out of it is, there is certain time for everything. Certain time you give for your children, for your husband, and then there is certain time where you have to dedicate completely to your human goal of life, that is to become Krishna conscious. But sometimes we get so engrossed till the fag end of our life, we are still attached to children and family, and we're not able to get attached to Krishna. I remember this one man, a Gujarati man from Saurashtra. He was in his dying bed, so almost 82-year-old, and the whole family was just around him, standing around him. And in a very shivering voice, he was asking, oh, where is my mota? Mota means in Gujarati, this is, where's my elder boy? Oh, daddy, I'm here. Okay, where's my second son? Daddy, I'm here. Okay, where's my third one? Daddy, I'm here. So immediately said, all three of you are here, then who is sitting in the shop? So the whole thing he's worried is, if all of you are here, then who is sitting in the shop? So the fact end of life that he's giving up his body, he's still thinking about the shop. The whole point is we have to have our goal very much clear. What do we want? Even if, let's say, we don't want to go back home to Godhead, we just want to be happy in this life, still we should be very clear about it. Otherwise, what happens? We end up wearing mask and then mask over mask and mask over mask, because somebody said that our goal should be Goloka Vrindavan. So we theoretically talk about it, but inside we're not even sure whether we want to go. Many times I ask the devotees, if today we just close those doors and then tell you can't go back home now, the Vimana is coming and we have to go back home, back to God, and you will say, no, we're not prepared. This is very nice, your lecture is very nice, but we can't go, right? And I'm just reminded of Bhakta Tukaram. Have you heard about Tukaram in Maharashtra? He's very famous with his bhajans. So he had this habit. Every day in the evening, he used to sit in the temple and he used to chant beautiful bhajans, and people used to get mesmerized. But the problem was with him was he used to go on singing, but people have to go home. So they used to go home and he used to keep singing. And in the closing his eyes, he would never even realize that people have already left. And in the morning, after the singing is completed, when he used to open the eyes, everybody is gone. So this was a daily routine. So one day when he was singing bhajan, he was closing his eyes and he was in samadhi singing beautiful bhajans. And he kept singing whole night. And next day morning when he opened his eyes, there was one man sitting. And he got surprised that finally somebody has got that devotion. So he became so happy and he asked him that, I'm so happy that you are here and you have heard the bhajan whole night. I respect your devotion. Then immediately that man said, okay, all that you talk later on, you've been sitting on my mat and whole night I've been waiting for that. Because if I go home without that mat, my wife will beat me up. So now can you stop and allow me to take my mat? So he was so surprised, So yeah, I mean, we are not sure, we are not focused on Krishna consciousness. But if the goal is clear, let's say I want to buy bread and I'm very clear about it, then my journey is very simple. I go to the departmental store, I take the bread from the shelf and I go to the bill counter and I make a bill. But if I'm not sure what I want to buy, I'll keep roaming around. Even if somebody comes and tells me, can I help you? I wouldn't be able to take help because I myself don't know what I want. So once we have our goal finalized, yes, I want to go back home, back to God, and I want to go back to Krishna, then everything will become very clear. Then the small thing will remain small. Otherwise, what is happening? If we don't have a purpose in life, we don't have a goal in life, then every small thing becomes a big thing. We start making issue about everything. But when we have a purpose in life, then everything else becomes very small because we have now a purpose, right? We see Sugriva in Ramayana, you heard? When Sugriva and the whole army, they went to Lanka, then Ravan was trying to attract Sugriva. That, I'll give you all the wealth, you leave Lord Ram. But Sugriva did not get deterred. Why? Because he had a purpose in life. No, I want to help Lord Ram. But the same Sugriva, when he was enjoying with his wives during the Chaturmas, he forgot about serving Lord Ram. Why? Because he got so distracted and there was no definite purpose because they didn't even know where is Sita. So till you have a proper purpose, if there is no goal, even a GPS cannot help you. I need to put my location, then only it can guide me. But if I don't have a goal in life, I'll keep moving around circles. So G for goal. G for also means grateful. Husband and wife should be very grateful to each other. Yeah? I remember we were counseling a couple from Hyderabad. Very young couple, maybe like 35-year-old husband and wife, always fighting for small little things. Little things like my husband keeps the wet towel on the bed, he doesn't keep the socks in place, and he says, my wife, in India they wear this bindi, my wife takes this bindi and puts it on the mirror, it's all dirty, it's all very dirty. So like that they keep complaining and fight over small little things. And I tell you what happened after 1 year. They wrote an email to me saying that the wife has been detected with cancer, 4th stage. And they're very young couple. And because it was discovered late, they couldn't do anything about it. Within 6 months, she died. And then the man came to see us in Visakhapatnam and we were like so sad. And I was telling him, Prabhuji, how are you coping up? And he told me something which took away my heart. He said, Mataji, what I do nowadays, I go to the market, buy bindi packets, take out the bindi and put it on the mirrors because I miss her so much. And when she was around, I didn't even realize her value. So yeah, we need to be grateful. At the end of life, husband is for wife and wife is for husband because this is the only relationship that lasts for so long time. Other relationships, let's say with your parents, how many years? Maybe 20, 24, 25, that's it. And then with your children, few years. Once they get their wings, they will go and make their own nest. But husband and wife is the longest relationship that stays together. So it's the most joked about, but it's most sweetest relationship. And everybody goes through this cycle. In the beginning, everything is very rosy when they get newly married. In India, there is this very popular joke. When they get newly married, the husband speaks and the wife listens. After a few years, the wife speaks and the husband listens. And after a few years, both speak and the neighbors listen. Because they're always fighting. So yeah, but so many stages everybody will pass through. In the beginning, everything will be so sweet, so nice. It's like a honeymoon period. And then after that, they will get so busy with sometimes there are insecurities because nowadays the wife is working and the husband is working and there is so much interaction. Do I need both the mics?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. Okay. Hare Krishna. You can put the stand a little closer. Okay, Hare Krishna. This one also. Okay. Yeah. So, so in the beginning, it's like honeymoon period. Like there's so much attraction between each other, and then after some time there are insecurities. You know how it starts because the wife is working, the husband is working, and they are interacting with different genders. So many insecurities will arise. Oh, who are you talking to? The wife will check the husband's phone, the husband will check the wife's phone. Why are you wearing this blue shirt to the office today? And why are you smiling so much? And so many insecurities will be there. Insecure about each other. After that, the kids arrive. Once the kids arrive, the topic is with the kids. Their school, their homeworks, what happened to them, their drops and their vaccinations, crying, all that, you know. After some time, the teenage issues will start with the kids. So the husband and wife get busy over that. And then the kids getting married, and then again grandchildren. And then the topic start with the health, you know. And then the real thing starts, you know, when they start to realize that it's husband for wife and wife for husband. At the end of the day, they are the only people for each other because everybody will get so busy with their own life, you know, their own children, their own parivar. So this is a very beautiful relationship. It's just that people sometimes don't handle it properly. If it's handled properly, we are so lucky because the goal of human life is to go back home, back to Godhead. And in the Grihasta, it's like we've been given a concession, or shall we say, we've been given help of a partner to help us in this long way of going back home, back to Godhead. And others who aren't married are doing this journey alone. So yes, there are little inconveniences because those who are sannyasis and brahmacharis, they are taking motorway. Motorway, there is no traffic, or rather tunnel way, because you pay toll, not much traffic. But the grihastas, they are going through small lanes. So in India, if you travel in small lanes, there will be thelawala, there will be bandiwala selling some flowers or fruits or vegetables or spinach, and traffic jam. So yeah, grihastas, we are going through that traffic jam. There is always a risk of accident. And sannyasis and brahmacharis, they're just taking a motorway. But the advantage is they have a lot of help here. If you know how the armies, they fight, when two armies fight, let's say Pakistan, India, or let's say there is a war, when they use their pistols or they use their guns, they keep some bags which are full of sand or something, and behind that, you know, bunker, they shoot. So that this is like an armor protecting them from the gun of the opposing parties. So Grihastha life is like that. You're fighting with Maya, but when you are married, then it's like you have a kavacha, because your wife will be like your policeman. She'll keep checking, and your husband will be like your policeman, will keep checking on you. So it's such a privilege, but it's just that we have to take it in the right way. We cannot change the content of our life. It's just the context. If we think it in the right way, take it in the right way, everything is so wonderful. And I'm just reminded, there was this 3 people, they were breaking stones, you know, marble stones for making a beautiful temple. So this man went and asked one man, oh, what are you doing? So he got upset. He said, can't you see? I'm just breaking stones. He asked the second man, what are you doing? Oh, can't you see? I'm breaking stones because I need to eat food. And he asked the other man, what are you doing? He said, can't you see? I'm making a beautiful temple for Krishna. But actually what was happening, all 3 of them were doing the same thing. But then the way of looking at things is so different. He said, I'm doing it for my stomach. He said, I'm just breaking stones. And he said, I'm making temple for Krishna. So yeah, positive attitude and the way we look at things, right? So G for goal. We need to fix up our goal, what we want to do. Do we want to really become devotee? And we should be grateful for whatever Krishna has given to us. So G, and then comes R, Grihastha R. Respecting each other. Respecting gender differences. Husband and wife are 2 different genders. They are made in different way. So I will give you one practical example. Buy a Barbie doll and hand it over to your son and hand it over to your daughter. Come back after half an hour. By the time you come back, your son would have already taken out her hands and legs and completely broken the doll. It's not that he is violent, it's just that the boys are very keen to know what's happening inside, what's the mechanism, why is this made like that. They will break the car, they will want to see inside the wheels. And your daughter, after half an hour, you go to her room, she may be making a plait for the doll, feeding the doll, making her wear clothes. Because by nature, Krishna has made the women like this. They're very loving, very caring, very emotional. And the men are made very reasoning, very logical. They cannot be very emotional. So once we understand the difference, we can respect each other, right? See, just like when you go to the zoo. In the zoo, you will see snakes, you will see birds, you will see cheetah, you will see lion, you will see elephant. But you will never complain, why is this elephant having a long trunk? Why can't the lion have a long trunk? No, it's an elephant. Elephant has long trunk. Yeah, lion looks like this. Birds have feather. And we accept it. But when it comes to our spouse, we have so many expectations. Why can't she think like me? Why can't he behave like me? No, he cannot, because he's a man and he thinks in that way. No, she cannot, because she's a woman and she thinks that way. So if we understand that gender difference and we respect it, we can have such a nice, happy married life. Because men have a different way of thinking. Men are very goal-oriented. They're very fixed on the goal, what they want to achieve. And the women, they are more process-oriented. They enjoy the whole process about everything. I always give this example. Imagine a woman going and buying a sari. More than buying sari, the whole process that takes behind buying the sari is very interesting. I went to the shop and I took this cab and I went to this shop, then I went to that shop. The whole thing fascinates them. But for the men, it's very boring. Okay, you bought the sari, what's the big deal? It's completed. But the women, they like to explain and they like to express it. This is how I went, that is how I went, and they like to talk about it with the men. And men feel so boring. Believe me, if you ask them, they won't express it, but they're thoroughly bored when you explain all that. I went there, and then I saw the blue sari, and the man is like, okay, did you buy the blue sari? No, blue is not my favorite color. Okay, then did you buy yellow? No, yellow, last month only I bought a yellow. Okay, then did you buy a red? No, it was very expensive. And he's already getting bored. Oh my God, why didn't she just buy the red sari? And they go on and on. But the men, they like it to keep it short. Okay, I bought the sari. And if you talk less, they are so happy. And so I tell you, I always advise this to the women, that if you love your husband, keep your things short, because they like it short. And I always advise the men that if you love your wife, please hear it, because they like it. If you keep on hearing the whole story that they... In fact, I was reading in a research, they said that on an average, every day, a man or a woman, they speak 16,000 words. But you know what? Usually people say that women speak more than men, but it's not true. Both speak equally, 16,000 words. Only thing is that the men's 16,000 words are completed in his office, and the women starts her 16,001 word when men comes back from office. So they feel that, my God, women speak a lot, but she just started her first word. But she's been waiting whole day to come and interact, right? So yes, G for goal, fix up your goal. R for respect the gender difference, okay? And I is for importance. How much importance should be given to what? Sometimes we just over-exaggerate things, situation, and magnify things. See, when you buy something, behind there is a price written, and they write in very small letters MRP, maximum retail price. That means we are not supposed to pay more than that. Every event also has a maximum retail price. We shouldn't be over, stretching the event. Even if something has happened, we should forget and forgive. And we shouldn't drag it. And I'll tell you, in Japan, in one school, a teacher gave an exercise. She said, how many of the children in the class you don't like? You don't have to share with anybody, just count them in your mind. So everybody started counting. Then the teacher said, tomorrow, how many kids that you don't like, bring that many boiled potatoes in a plastic bag. So next day morning, all the children, they brought the plastic bag with the boiled potatoes. Somebody got 7, somebody got 6, 4, 2. So they said, ma'am, what are we supposed to do with this? So ma'am said, now you carry this bag wherever you go. So they were very bored because carrying it to the playground, carrying it to the restroom, carrying it everywhere. And by evening, they were smelling. Then they told, ma'am, what are we supposed to do with it? No, keep carrying it and bring them tomorrow. And after 2 days, the children were like, ma'am, it's smelling so bad. And now they were thinking, why did I say that I don't like 6 children? I have to carry 6. My friend is lucky, he's just carrying 1. And then the teacher gave the purport. Said, just carrying these potatoes, you're feeling so inconvenient. Imagine so many things you're carrying in your mind and heart for others. How much burden it is. If you just clear it, you will be so light. So forget and forgive. No matter what happens, keep small things small. Don't over-exaggerate things. For any relationship to start, you need to give. For the relationship to sustain, you need to forgive. In fact, I remember in my student life, I had read this biography of Nelson Mandela and how for 27 years he was imprisoned in Robben Island. And it was very tough. He was imprisoned in a small cell where he couldn't even stretch his legs. That kind of situation. And that Robben Island was not a normal place. It was a place where, mentally retarded people used to be kept there. In that kind of situation, he was there for 20 years. Why? Because of this one man called John Rooster, who had, a vengeance against Nelson Mandela. He was the president, and every time he used to bring the bill, hang Mandela, and he did so much to torture him. And finally, when Nelson Mandela was released from the jail after 27 years of torture, the press reporters were very keen to know his opinion. They all ran to him and said, Sir Mandela, what do you have to say about this guy, John, who put you in this situation? He said, he's a decent man. So they said, Sir, really? Because of him you suffered so much? So he said, that's all right, but I don't want to carry him with me. Otherwise, I will be still imprisoned. If I'm still carrying him in my mind, I have forgiven him. So when we carry things in our mind, they burden us so much. He did that and she did that. In fact, sorry if I'm being, sorry Matajis if I'm being a little biased, but I feel women have this habit of carrying data a lot more than men. Because whenever the men and the women fight, the woman will immediately go to 1982 in my sister's marriage. What you told and when and how you behaved, And this guy, men will be surprised how she remembers that. I don't even remember if I did that. But the women have this habit, whenever they fight with full data. What happened when and all. So let's keep our mind, light. See, when you fly high, in the airport, they check the weight of your weight of your luggage, is it not? You just allowed little bit. You can't carry. If you want to fly high, you have to give up on the luggage. We want to fly high to Goloka Vrindavan, we'll have to give up on this mental luggage. If we keep all this mental luggage, we can't chant properly. Many times devotees ask, I'm not able to chant properly my Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Why? Because there's so many things already in the mind that you cannot chant your mantra properly. So we have to forget and forgive. So G for keeping goal in mind, being grateful. R is respecting the gender difference. I is to know how much importance is to be given to what. Keep small things small and don't make it very big. So GRINH. Be happy with whatever little bit we have. Don't wait for something big to happen to be happy. Be happy with small things. I remember when we were young, there were not so many channels on TV. We used to just have DD1 and DD2 and we were very happy. Every Friday, Chitrahar used to come and in Chitrahar, some new movie songs used to come. And we used to be very happy with that. But now everybody has their own cell phone, their own playlist. Still people are not happy. Is it not? That's a big paradox. And there, whatever used to come on the radio, we were so happy. There was nothing like, DJ, RJ, Mera Gana Baja Do. There was nothing like that. They just... whatever comes, we used to just be happy with that. We just accept it. And our life was so simple. His Holiness Lokanath Swami Maharaj was once giving a class to all the Vizag devotees. And at the end of the class, he said, please follow the KISS principle. And we were like, what is Maharaj talking about sannyasi? So he again, Maharaj, what is that? Please follow the KISS principle. And you were like, what is Maharaj saying? Then Maharaj said, KISS, can't you understand? Keep it simple, stupid. He said, keep it simple, stupid. Keep it simple. Don't complicate your life. Just be simple. Be simple-hearted. Actually, life is very simple, but we sometimes complicate it with so many expectations from other. He should say that, she should have done that, he should have behaved like that. Let's keep it simple. If there is something we want or expect from somebody, we should communicate. So simple. I always tell the devotees, and especially the Matajis, I tell that we have married a bhakti yogi and not a mystic yogi. So don't expect that your husband will understand everything even without telling. Neither your wife can understand everything without telling. Just communicate. Sometimes it's just the communication gap. And I'll tell you one of my most favorite stories, and if you have heard my classes, you would know this. There was this one husband and wife, newly married. So you know how it is. Newly married is like, very obedient wife, at least for starting 1 year. I believe so. So they'll be very obedient, and whatever husband says, listen very carefully. But this husband, he had this typical habit of speaking in a high pitch. Whatever he says, he speaks like with a high pitch. So every day he had this habit, where is my hot water? I have to take bath. Are you giving me hot water? Otherwise, and she was like, no, Prabhu, I'm just getting it, Prabhu. Okay. Where is the coffee? Are you giving me the coffee? Otherwise, no, Prabhu, I'm just getting the coffee. For 1 month, she was tortured. Then after 1 month, she went to her friend. Always my husband speaks like that, I get shivering. His friend was very intelligent. She said, tomorrow morning when your husband says that, go and ask him, otherwise what? Let's see what he does, be brave. So yeah, next day morning her husband was like, are you giving my hot water? I'm getting late for the office, otherwise. She came out from the kitchen and said, otherwise? He said, otherwise I will take bath with cold water. This is what I have been trying to tell you last 1 month, but you never asked me. That's all. Communication. She over-imagined so many things. Probably he'll divorce me, or probably he will beat me. Just communicate. I'll tell you one real life example. There was this husband and wife who were not communicating with each other. Probably they had a fight. And the security, India, you have this driver, security, so many servants. And this guy took full advantage. What he did is he brought his uncle and aunt and all from village, and they started living in their house, and the wife assumed that probably they are husband's guest, and husband assumed that probably they are wife's guest, and these people kept living for 6 months, and finally one day the wife thought, I think I should communicate to the husband, and she went and said, how long will your guest stay here? My guest? I thought they were your guest. And then finally they understood they were the guest of the security guard. So yeah, people will take advantage if we don't communicate with each other. So we should always have this open communication. So G for having a goal in mind, R for respecting the gender differences, I for giving importance only that much as required, and H for being happy. And whatever little things, don't wait for big events to happen. Appreciate each other. Whatever little happy things happen in your life, just enjoy them. Just be happy. I always tell that our generation is such, I tell you, initially, the early mans, they were nowhere. There was never a address, that this early man lives in cave number 12 or cave number 2. No, they used to just move around. Men were nowhere. And then from there, they became somewhere. Now everybody has an address. Okay, I live in Wellington, or I live here, this and that. From nowhere, they became somewhere. And now with the technology, they are everywhere. You have Wi-Fi, and people are just, connected with Facebook, Insta and all. But now, the present generation is elsewhere. Why? I'll tell you. Even if they are in the meeting, they want to do something else. They want to be somewhere else, and they want to be someone else. They're not happy with whatever they have. So that's why I call this generation as an elsewhere generation. They're not happy with what they have, right? So no, whatever Krishna has given us, we should be happy and satisfied, right? So G-R-I-H-A. H-A. Accept, adjust, whatever situation Krishna has put us in. Life is very short. By the time we try to change each other, it will be time to go. I tell you, once I was traveling from Visakhapatnam to Mayapur, and we were in the train. And you know how Indian trains are? The window will not open, the fan will not work. It will be like that. So there was this little boy who was sitting on the window seat. And then, he was trying to open the window, but the window was not staying put. It was coming down. So whole journey he kept on trying, but it never worked. Finally, he drank Sprite. And that empty Sprite bottle, he somehow stuck in the window, and the window remained open. And he was so happy. But as soon as he did that, it was time to go. We already reached Howrah. And now the boy was crying, oh, I want the journey should start. Now I'll be able to see out of window. Of course, nowadays children don't see because they're so busy with the smartphones. But yeah, those were the days kids used to enjoy. Window seat was like a privilege in the train when you can see the greenery. But father said, no, we have come to the end of the journey. Now we have to go. And the boy was crying, no, now my journey has started. So time is very short. We feel my partner should change, he should change, she should change. By that time, it will be already time to go. Better to accept the person as they are and continue our journey. So GRIHA, adjust, accept, and S is for serving. Serving each other. This relationship is like this. When you just weld two iron rods, they cannot be welded just like that. You have to cut a little bit, mold, turn them a little bit, then they can be welded together. When two different people from two different families come together, little bit he has to sacrifice and little bit she has to sacrifice, and only then they can have a perfect bond. So serving each other. Many times I ask, sometimes the devotees, some newly married couple or somebody who's about to get married, they come to my school. I run a school in Vizag. So they come for blessings and I ask them, why are you getting married? And if anybody says, I'm getting married because I want to be happy, then I tell them, don't get married, you will not be happy. Why, Mataji? I said, no. The marriage should not be like, I want to marry him because I want to be happy. No. I'm happy and I want to marry because I want somebody to share my happiness with. Then you will be happy. But if you're expecting that after marriage, this person will make me happy, then you will never be happy. Right? We shouldn't take the role of a beggar. She can make me happy, he will make me happy. The whole attitude should be like that of a king. I'm happy and I want to share my happiness with others. And anybody who enters marriage life with that kind of attitude will always be happy. And then comes T. T for tolerating. Yes, we have to tolerate each other, right? We have to tolerate each other. Somebody has something good and some other qualities they may be lacking. Nobody is paripurna. We just have to tolerate each other. Actually, sometimes familiarity breeds contempt. Because we are seeing the person too close, we see so many faults. But everybody has some or the other fault. The other day somebody was telling me, we were in Radha Gokulananda farm in Sydney and we saw very beautiful peacocks there. So some devotee was telling me, peacocks are much better than human beings. Better to live with peacocks or better to live with monkeys or animals than living with human beings. And I told that you are thinking like that, but if you actually take a peacock and put in your room, within a day you will hate peacock. Because the peacock look good, but if you stay with the peacock, they may litter everywhere and they make a very loud noise, which may not be so happy to hear. So from far, the grass is always greener on the other side. We feel things are very beautiful. But when it comes near, we understand everybody has their own set of fault. We just need to tolerate and keep moving. These are all temporary inconveniences for permanent happiness. We tolerate each other just like the Lord is tolerating us. I always tell devotees, when we are new in Krishna consciousness, we feel we are tolerating devotees, but as we get mature, we understand they are tolerating us. Everybody in this world is tolerating each other. Everybody has a specific role. So we just need to tolerate each other's idiosyncrasies a little bit here and there. We may not like the way they eat, the way they talk, the way they move, but they're also tolerating us. So we should tolerate. And the last A in Grihasta is assumptions. We should be very careful and not make assumptions. Very quickly we judge people. I tell you my own personal example. I was once traveling from Coimbatore to Hyderabad, and in the flight, and my next seat there was this one couple, and they had a small baby. The baby was crying and making so much noise, and the mother was sleeping happily. and the father was taking care of the baby, and the baby is pulling the father's nose and ears and beating him and doing all sorts of things. But the father was so careful, he was not allowing the baby to disturb the mother. As soon as the baby goes to mother, oh, come on, like this. He struggled so hard in that 2 hours flight. And I was thinking, my God, what a wonderful father. And I was thinking so many things bad about this mother. Oh, what a lady she is, such a terror she is. Happily she's sleeping, not even telling her husband, okay, can I help you? Happily she's snoring. This man is struggling so hard. After the flight landed, we were trying to take out our cabin baggage. So I looked at the man and I said, you are a very good father. And he turned to me and said, but my wife is a better mother. And I was like, what way? I didn't ask him, but he understood my thought process. So he said, actually, my child was sick last 3 days. And my wife hasn't slept continuously last 3 days, night and day. And now that my son is feeling better, I'm going to drop her to her hometown. So I really didn't want that she should be disturbed. At least she should sleep for 2 hours. And then I felt so bad that I made so many assumptions. She may be like that, she may be a terror, poor fellow. But she was a very wonderful mother. It's just that she was taking a little rest. So in our Grihasta life, sometimes we make so many assumptions about somebody. We judge them very quickly. And I'm reminded of this little girl. She was having these 2 apples. And the mother said, oh, you have 2 apples. Can you share one with me? And she said, yes. But she started eating both the apples. And mother was like, what kind of nature that is? But what she was basically doing was, she wanted to taste both the apples and see which is the sweeter one and give that one to the mother. So she just took a little time and mother made so many assumptions. We are also very quick in making assumptions. We start judging people immediately by the way they dress, the way they walk, the way they look. We shouldn't jump to conclusions. We should give time. And if we follow these little tips, then we can have a happy married life. Now, I tell you, I was once attending a marriage anniversary of a couple. They had been married happily for 50 years. And everybody was asking them, what is the reason of your successful marriage life? 50 years is not a small time. So the husband said, very simple. Both of us have a very nice arrangement amongst ourselves. So what is that arrangement? See, what we do is, all the small decisions that has to be made, my wife makes it. And whatever the bigger decisions, I make it. So they were like, really? So what are those small decisions that your wife makes? Well, my wife decides what are we going to do with the salary that's going to come this month. My wife decides which school my children will go to. My wife decides which property we are going to buy. My wife decides where we are going to invest money. Hold on. If these are the small decisions your wife makes, then what are the big decisions you make? Said me, when I read that Narendra Modi is going to do demonetization, I agree to it and I tell my wife I think he should do it and my wife agrees. So that are the big decisions I make and which are having global impact. And the small decision my wife makes. So yeah, this is such a sweet relationship. We just need to be grateful to each other, appreciate each other. And because at the end of the day, if we are able to inspire each other in Krishna consciousness, we are having a ready-made association at home. We are looking out for devotee association outside, but if at home, we have a nice atmosphere, husband and wife following Krishna consciousness nicely and loving each other, then it will be so wonderful. In fact, I many times tell the Matajis also that it's not that you only cook for Vaishnavas, you should also cook for your husband, because husband is also a Vaishnava. He's also wearing kanti or tulsi. So we should love each other, appreciate each other, and be there for each other, and pray together. A family that prays together, stays together. So just be nice to each other, and be grateful to Krishna. Keep Krishna in the center, just like Prabhupada said. When we put water in the roots, the leaves are nourished. When we pray together, husband and wife, they pray together, they chant together, they'll be happy. Because a husband cannot satisfy a wife, and neither a wife can ever satisfy husband. But if both together satisfy Krishna, then they will be automatically satisfied. Because we are all imperfect beings. But when the two imperfect beings together worship the perfect Krishna, then their life becomes very Beautiful. We have seen how in the devotee's life when they take up to Krishna consciousness, because now the bigger goal is to keep Krishna happy. The bigger goal is to go back home, back to Godhead. So small little things become gona, become secondary, and that way we can have a very happy married life. So yeah, with this, I will close it here, and then Prabhu will speak, and then we can also open the floor for questions if you have any. Thank you so much. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you.
360-degree paradigm shift. If you look at back, 50 years back, not only India, everywhere, the family were very together. Husband, wife, children. They were family oriented and they had a tradition. Now tradition is lost. For example, in India, in one family, many, maybe sister-in-law, many brother's wife, brother-in-law's wife, mother-in-law, many others, elders, they were staying together. So, even though there was a little problem, the whole day when husband is not there, then whole day the wife deals with others. If there's any unpleasant, when at the end of the day when husband comes, she feels solace and husband speaks few words and she feels sheltered. Nice. Okay, my husband is there. He'll protect. So don't worry, I'll speak. We'll try to sort out. Now the paradigm shift is that now all these girls, they're highly educated. So women, they're also educated, man is also educated. And then now, all over the world, there's a nuclear family. Only husband, wife staying. And there's hardly 1 or 2 kids. And then daily, they're all the time they're together. So when they're all the time together, then makes also little problem. And as we understand, the spirituality is very far off. Not only spiritually, ethics, culture is gone. And nobody understands the tradition. Like yesterday, one couple came. He said, Prabhuji, what about spirituality? I said, you are not able to understand that maybe your parents, he said, my parents are not that great. I said, but they had a belief. Your grandparents had belief. They were religious minded. He said, yes. So they had a faith. Let's say somebody was not going to the temple, but they had a faith, they had a belief. But that belief is gone. Whole world became global village. Whatever the culture you are following, even India also following the same thing. Even if you say Pakistan or Bangladesh, any country you say, it becomes same. And the divorce rate in India also very high. So many problems every day. So only way to remain now and say, Prabhuji, what are the secrets? Secret is that, as she told, that unless we take where we are lacking, it's our bad karma, bad thoughts. And all the school, that's what Srila Prabhupada is stressing, all over the world, there is a Vidya, and there is Jada Vidya, the dull education, about education about dull matter, to make some money. But there is no Adhyat Vidya or Raja Vidya where we can learn how to live our life. So that's what our scripture comes. Manusmritika, many other scriptures comes. How to lead a life. But now neither husband knows, not father, grandfather, nobody knows. And nobody listens to nobody. So that will be problem. So the only secret is that if we keep our goal big, that's what Gita Krishna says, that Rasabhajam Rapasya Pramdishtanimati. If you make a higher goal in life, then if husband and wife work together, then it is. Otherwise, if everything based on sensual enjoyment and physical and personality, then it is difficult. And nobody wants to be humble. Who wants? Nobody wants to be humble. Uh, we are seeing every day, so many complaints are coming everywhere. It's difficult to deal. I'm seeing from very young age, I'm president, so many couple that comes. Delhi, but those days not that many. One boy says, Prabhuji, you please come to my marriage. I said, I'll not go, you come to the temple, pay wishes. They came, very practical, they are very happy. After 6 months, says, Prabhuji, koi mantra de do, मैं मर जाना चाहता हूँ. बोला देखो ये जो फेस है चला जाएगा, थोड़ा ठहरो, सब्र करो. I said, that day, 6 months back, you said, I'm very happy. Now you said you are not happy. But then again, after some years, I made, no, that's sorted out. I said, we adjust. Same thing, Srila Prabhupada father told that if there's any ambiguity, just tolerate. And think about that will help you. So we should also, nowadays, tolerance is zero tolerance. And also assumption is, as she told, assumption is very bad. We should tolerate. When wife is earning, certainly we should tolerate. If husband is doing that. Another thing, let's have deeper understanding. What is it? Basically, we are social animal. So at the end of the life, when children are married or they have gone, only husband and wife they're left over. See, if you say no, I don't need, but what will happen? The biggest problem is that at the old age, one will face problem. At that time, nobody is there to help. And I sincerely doubt that the present children, they'll help. Maybe some cases they'll help, maybe half they'll not help. Maybe like you are here, you can never know. Traditionally, wherever the parents are, children supposed to be there only. But now your children, maybe they'll choose to America or other country or this country. You can never know other city. If they're not there, what will do? So better, we should not make a smaller issue bigger. Assumption, let me say some joke, that one thief and he cannot hear. So usually he takes one assistant and just, went to his friend who was in the hospital to see. So everybody said, no, you cannot hear, what you will say? No, some andal se kuch bolenge, something I'll say, what sweet word. So he went, his friend was almost dying, but he could not understand. He said, how are you feeling today? He said, I'm dying. So that deaf man said, very good. Friend got very upset. I'm dying and he's very good. He said, then again he asked, who is your doctor? So he got so upset. He said, Yamraj. So he's a very good doctor. He'll help you. Then he said, what are you eating? And he got more angry. He said, I'm eating stone. It's a very good food. Keep on eating. So sometimes I see assumption is completely wrong. Some cases can be sorted out. Just if there's mediation by or some elderly person counsel, like in here, many families, there's a lot of problems. If senior householder, those who are 65, 70, somehow if and there should be layer of counselor, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10. And all this couple, they should take counseling. What can be the best possibility? Then they can take a decision. And we should not, magnify the problems. Sometimes the small problems, they magnify. Small things. Like for example, just a few years back, our court case, that's why I went to the court. And then two couple, they're fighting. Then I asked that boy, that how many years you were married? Blood, 15 years. And then she 15 years married, and this girl was talking. And the boy having a list about 100 complaints against the girl having a list more than 100 complaints against the boy. Then I just spoke to them, they're known to us. I said, what is the point of writing like this? Right? People will make a fun of you. So you boil down to the actual problem. Then they came to me, somehow we could settle something. I said, even if you don't want to live together, don't keep so much grudge. It's not good. Neither is healthy for you, nor healthy for her. All are human beings. You have lived together for 15 years, why you are complaining like this? So complain, it should be take to the space value, to the actual value, not like that. One girl, he married one nice boy. He was a wealthy boy, nice boy. His name was sweet name, Gopal. But as the village people make a joke, the people used to call him Tantan Gopal. So Tantan Gopal means like a hopeless boy. So the girl didn't like that. Why the people call my husband Tantan Gopal? After some time she got irritated. She says, I don't want to stay with you. They said, why you don't want to stay? Because people are criticizing you, saying Tantan Gopal. He said, नाम में क्या लेना देना है नाम से क्या बोलते हैं? But we are okay now. No, I don't want to stay. So what do you want to do? No, I'm going to my mother house. So I said, no, you stay. Why? What is the problem? We have everything. No, but this irritates me, your name, Tantan Gopal. It's how peculiar name. So she was going on the way. And she saw one thin man. She asked, what is your name? He said, Sair Singh. I said, Sair Singh? This person, if the wind comes, he will fall, but his name is Sair Singh. So, after some time, she saw one poor girl. She was just trying to get some wood here and there. She said, what is your name? Lakshmi. Sorry, Lakshmi, but you have nothing. Then after some time, she was walking. She saw one dead body is coming. And she asked, what is the name? He said, Amar Singh. I said, what is there in the names? So I'm saying that problems are very small. Sometimes we magnify. And if somebody thinks there'll be no problem, I said, life is also boring if there's no problem. Just we all as Indian, we're sitting here, one thing is there. We see even Lord fought. All that belongs, Jiva belongs to the Lord. But still, he had to fight. Some took a role of a demon, some he did everywhere. Even Kaliya Lila, everywhere. You see so many demons he killed. So many places Lord fought. So there are problems, and there are some problems we can sort out. There are problems we cannot sort out. It's not possible to sort out. It's so complex. But where is the actually problem? That is a sinful activities. If we give up sinful activities and pray, if we do have a big goal, like you just try to study every family, why this family is successful, why this family is not successful. Those who are goal-oriented, they'll be successful. Those who have aim of life, they'll be successful. If they have no aim, no goal, but rest, I cannot give you the further mantra. If you come personally, maybe I can tell you, but it's... so some fixed goals should be there. What you want to achieve in life, husband, wife together, children. How you want to take your family in proper direction, how you should be happy. But because of worldly temptation, we get deviated our mind. Because of temptation is very dangerous things, Just some time back, somebody sent me one video, some devotee said, Prabhuji, you will watch this. I said, my personal secretary, he said, must be interesting. So, there is a section, one side is heaven, another side is hell. So many people, they said, they call all this agent, they said, where you want to go? You want to go to hell or you want to go to heaven? So initially they said that where there is heaven, there is a lot of problems going to the heaven, steps, they said. But hell is very beautiful. Nice lift, so nice music, so many people are there, good reception. But heaven side is very bad. So all decided, let us go to hell. Because all these facilities, nice air conditioned, so many. And heaven side, everything is worst. So all decided, let us go to hell. So as soon as the whole bunch went to the hell, and immediately in the down, when they took in the nice lift with all sorts of things, inside when they went, they saw all sorts of horrible things. There was a lot of suffering. Then these people say, why you brought us inside? Outside we were looking very good. That means you have cheated. He said, that is advertisement, and this is the real things. So we worldly people, we get tempted by worldly advertisement. Here is meat eating, he has illicit activity, he has a gambling, he has cheating, he has so many other things, I think we will be very happy. But these are temptation. You see everywhere. Everybody knows if you smoke, you'll have a problem. If you take too much alcohol, you have a problem. If you have too much illicit sex, that is also a problem. That will lead to the problem. So many vulnerable diseases. But because of advertisement, we get allured, and this is the agent, Srila Prabhupada said, the agent of Kali advertising. And we worldly people are getting fooled by worldly this advertisement. So if we can resist and make a goal of life, that's why you should take shelter of Vaishnavas. What Krishna says, don't stay in here. It is dukkhalayam sasaktam. Mahapupatyati kantya punajanmada vidhati. If you approach me, there will be no reward. You will not suffer. The Lord is telling, please come to me, please come to me. In Gita, many shlokas they're saying, please come to me, please come to me. Right? You just do little bhakti. Bhakti is a very simple process. You just chant the Lord's name and take prasadam. Is there any problem of taking prasadam? Anybody having problem of taking prasadam? So chant. What we are saying that you just pray. The family who prays together, stay together. If we pray, what will happen? That will nullify our sinful activities. Then we'll be happy. But one way that we will commit sinful activity and then we want to be happy. Dono virodhi sabda. It's totally opposite. It's not possible. So I request everybody to take up, whenever possible, wherever possible, just pray a lot. And husband should also pray, wife should also pray. And if not for you both, it's for the children or for the future. Just remember when you are now, when the body is too strong, the healthy body, youthful body, you don't care about all this, what are the consequences. But after age of 60, 65, 70, then one will realize, women will realize, man will realize that I have done mistake. At that time you'll be alone. You'll be walking alone in this world. We have seen many, we are seeing every day. So my request is that give good suggestion to everybody. Don't try to adjust it. Not adjustable, keep a balanced relationship. In this world is give and take. As he told that if everybody wants, I want one, that's not going to happen. We have to distribute love to everybody. Then people will say, oh, yeah. Somebody will reciprocate. The aura will be full of positivity. What do we say? Let us put the positive aura, not negative aura. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Anybody has any questions? Anybody has any questions? If you don't have any questions, I will I'll start asking questions. Whether you're sleeping or not. Yes.
What was the last name in Grihasta stand for?
Assumptions. Wrong assumptions. Yes.
Would have become a
Appreciation. Yes. Appreciation. Any other questions? Yes.
Thank you so much. One of the reasons I came to this program is I heard about Mataji's lectures. Video YouTube was 6 7 videos, and the most inspiring thing was Grihasta husband wife relationship. So that we can remember, if you could please search examples of your personal experiences in Grihasta, that will
I'll share one example of my parents and how my mother used to be with my father. I happen to be a Gujaratis here.
Out of Gujarat.
Okay. My mother, Gujaratis, they have this typical habit, everything. My father used to run, now he's retired, my father used to run a wholesale shop, wholesale bunions and undergarments and shopping channel. My mother used to call him every evening, around 6:30. That would be the peak time, he was super busy. My mother will call. Samba Prabhu, so that's a Gujarati word. Yeah. what should I cook in the evening? And my father will be like, whatever you want to make, because he was so busy. I don't know, can't make anything. My mother says, I don't know how to make anything. Be specific, say something. My father will say, okay, make dahi vada. My mother will say, dahi vada? Sham ko koi dahi vada khata hai? Evening, who takes dahi vada? Dahi is not good for you. Father says, okay, fine, make bhindi. Mother said, bhindi? Just yesterday we had bhindi. Okay, fine, make cauliflower. Cauliflower, shall I go to the market now? Get cauliflower. Okay, fine, then make chole. Chole has to be soaked in the water in the morning. Okay, then what? Eat Samba Prabhu, shall I make brinjal? Okay, fine, make brinjal. But you know what? Even before this conversation, my mother has already made brinjal sabji and it's already on the dining table. That's my mother. But she will make him say that. And now when he comes, he's like, the brinjal, I decided, yes. So yeah, we just have to be smart. There are little gender differences. Usually the men, they like to be the boss, And yeah, and they don't have to necessarily be boss, just make them feel it. Sorry, but yeah, just make them feel it and they'll be so happy about it. But otherwise, women are very smart. That is why you see the whole cosmic administration, I'm sorry, which is the cosmic administration the Lord has given to the women. You see, the defense is by Durga, the portfolio, and the education portfolio is by Saraswati, and the finance portfolio is by Lakshmi. The whole important portfolios are handed over to the women. So, yeah, so I always say that women are Shakti and the Purusha are San Shakti. So it's like, we just need to be smart. We just need to be smart, diplomatic, speak in the right way, have the proper body language. See, sound vibration, that is why you see the whole Krishna conscious process is based on the sound vibration of Hare Krishna Mahamanta, because the sound is very important. What you speak, it is very important. And without sound, nothing exists. I tell you, there was this once fight between a husband and wife. So they decided that they will not talk to each other. But next day morning, the husband had a very important meeting. So he thought in his mind that even though alarm rings, I'm always dependent on my wife. So even though we have fought, maybe I request her that kal ke meeting, just for tomorrow's meeting, you wait now. But his ego was like, why should I go and talk to her? So he wrote a chit to her. Tomorrow I have an important meeting, please wake me up at 5:30 and hand over the chit to her. Next day morning, it was 7:30, and the meeting to miss over, and he got up. And he was very angry on her. Why did you wake me up? I told you. And she said, I woke you up. When? He said, look below your pillow. Exactly morning 5:30, I wrote a chit. Please wake up. And I kept it under your pillow, but you never woke up. It doesn't work like that. There's a sound that works. That is why this Hare Krishna Mahamantra is so powerful. It's very powerful. When we chant this Hare Krishna Mahamantra, it's not a normal thing. We are actually connecting directly to Goloka Vrindavan, to Surya Vasant, your God, by chanting this mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare.
See, if you just remember Pani, okay, or something that you like, and you talk about 2 minutes, I can challenge you, somewhere if you have tasted it before, somewhere in your tongue, even though you're not eating it, right? Just by hearing and repeating. So imagine this mantra, it is so powerful. Because you see, even normal human beings, what's your name? Shweta? So normal human being, I say Shweta, can you come here? She responds. She's a normal person. Imagine when we call to the Lord, will He not respond? We call out His name. Hare Krishna, He's listening. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare.
Immediately the Lord responds. Immediately the Lord is looking at us when we call out His name.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Hare.
Yes, any other question? Yes.
We can speak. That's not an issue. You speak, we will copy, we will repeat.
Hare Krishna Mataji, I've seen so many of your videos, and it was really grateful. I'm really grateful to see you face to face. It's a bit difficult for me to believe that I'm talking to you face to face. It's really great feeling. Mataji, a question like, after some years of marriage, husbands are immune to what wife is saying. So do you also deal with that?
Yeah. घर का मुर्गी दाल बराबर.
That you should ask my husband.
No. Husband is like,
Yeah, go ahead.
immune. What wife is saying, we keep on.
Yeah, it's good. If he's not immune, he can't stay with you forever. My personal take is that husband and wife, if they don't fight, then they are not authentic husband and wife. If you both are not fighting, you better check your husband has an affair. You have to fight. We fight regularly or the temperature of the AC. Always. Because I don't know, somehow, if he's feeling hot, I feel cold, and I'm feeling cold, he feels hot. But we manage. Variety is the mother of enjoyment. Imagine if you had a husband who looks like you, talks like you, speaks like you, eats like you, likes the same thing that you like. It's nightmare. You'll get bored after some time. But it's variety. He says something, he will say something, and it makes. Like a South Indian thali. I don't know how many of you, but if you take a South Indian thali, it has sweet, it has sour, it has pungent, it has all varieties. And then it makes it
Give me the
so
bottle, will take.
That's how the life is. It's so beautiful. Sometimes some argument, something will happen, he'll say something, she'll say something, and that's how it makes it beautiful. There's nothing to say, nothing to, but it becomes very boring. So yeah, that happens with everybody. But we have to keep the bigger goal as the bigger goal. The bigger goal is to somehow together chant Hare Krishna and go to life.
So 1 minute. See, that's what I told you that, as we say, Srila Prabhupada told that if husband is also human being, within that the Paramatma is there. He's also nice. Women should be respected. And she told initially only that if while there is no respect for women, Lakshmi Devi will not stay in that house. So anywhere we visit, every day I'm visiting. From young age I'm in this mission. But where there is a loving exchange, respect is there, they progress. They keep on fight like animals, talking about what they use. When they don't want to stay, why Lakshmi Devi will stay in that house? Right? When husband and wife, they don't want to stay in that house. Why Lakshmi Narayan will stay there? So we should pray to Lakshmi Narayan together, that please bless us. Ultimately karma. But nowadays people think the other way around. They think that I work hard and Lord will, then I'll get, not my own strength I'll get. They don't believe the prayers. That's another problem. If you pray, we can get more. One of our congregation, he was in New Zealand, Auckland. His friend says, why you are going back to India? What you'll do there? I'm here. So let us search a good job in Sydney or Melbourne. We'll stay here and make money. But he couldn't stay. Somehow he went back. So his friend was laughing. Just 67 years back. But somehow he got some good managership. He started his own business from scratch. I don't know. He became a very big man. Then I asked his friend, that he think he did good or bad? He said, very good, it is excellent. So I'm saying that it is not you and me. If we pray, everything is achievable. Sudama didn't ask for anything. Though his wife told that you asked something, he was praying something spiritual. The Lord give everything. So, worldly people, they believe in Jantra Shakti, that will work. But devotee, they believe in Mantra Shakti. Prayer should work. Sometime, like you all are sitting here, you all are highly qualified people, earning very good. But sometime, maybe in India, some fruit sellers sell, but making more money than you do. Can never know. So it's not the education. It also needs Lord's blessings. So what I'm saying that for Lord blessings works everywhere. But now our whole thinking is at atheism. So then we want to be happy artificially. Neither we listen to the society nor friends, everybody. Whatever my mind said, that's the fact. So actually the tradition was all over the world. You believe those who are elderly people. Elderly people, they had a belief in scripture. And in India especially, they used to always ask the spiritual people, elderly people. That's not there. I came to America, I went to America here way back, 84, 85. People who are, you go away, I said, Jesus bless you, Jesus bless you. Now that tradition is gone everywhere. Now that spiritual words are missing. You would anyway, how are you, how is the day today? Jesus bless you. Those, like in India we say Hare Krishna, Sitaram, Nara, something they say. But now, hello, hi. So in Hindi से hi hi करते रहेगा, so करो hi, ठीक है ना? अब जहाँ जाओ hi hi, ओ hi hi, hi हिंदी का अर्थ है एलास, वो मतलब सब खराब ही हो गया सब कुछ. So if you take spirituality, something will be there. Otherwise, what is the use of this life? Animals also taking care of their family. Human being working much harder than animal. So we have to also think about it. That's why scripture, Athato Brahma Jigyasa, one should know, who am I, where I have come from, where I'll go, what will happen, why I'm suffering, why some are suffering, some are enjoying, why like that. It's all karma. That's why our devotees, they said, let us pray together and stay together. Prayer doesn't, certainly it will help. And Srila Prabhupada could change even Western people to take spirituality. We in India, it's our duty, it's our culture. Unfortunately, British, Mughal, they have destroyed the whole thing. If you see the look back, you just see the history. 1,000 years back, in India there was lakhs of Gurukul. There's no school, only Gurukulam. Now there is school. So what is happening? It's all dull matter. Jada Vidya. There is no Adhyatma Vidya. Adhyatma Vidya, that means Adhyatma includes Jada Vidya and spirituality, both. That is mission. So let us stay with the devotees, whatever we can get, and read Srila Prabhupada books. Something we can make it. But it is a life story. It's supposed to be, actually this, the family life, actually, traditionally, they used to tell before children get married, look how to lead a life. Now nobody is telling how to behave with wife, how to behave with husband. Now there is no teaching. एक लड़का ने पूछा, आप मुझे मेरे में क्या देखा, आप आपको शादी क्यों किया? एक लड़के पूछे, बीवी है, बोला मैंने जब मेरे मम्मी के साथ आपके घर में देखने के लिए आया, मैंने देखा आप बर्तन साफ कर रहे हैं, तो उसको लगा कि जब बर्तन साफ कर सकते हैं तब हमारे लिए अच्छा ही है. ओके, हरे कृष्ण.
Yeah. That's it. Any other question? Yes, please. Go ahead.
Hare Krishna.
Only one will turn on it one time.
I am overwhelmed to see you in Sakshat.
Okay.
I want to ask, today's talk will be on YouTube. I want to show it to some of young couples.
I think so. Is the today's talk recorded? It will be on YouTube? Yeah, it will be on YouTube. Okay.
And we can repeatedly listen to us.
So whatever the mantras he has told, if you follow, life will be successful.
Okay, just a quick question. We talked about gender equality. Like male and female, we are different. That's been accepted. But the question अब जो arise होता है कि how do you maintain the equality? We know the differences, but there's a sense of empowerment. Like how do you bring them together once they're married? We talk about equality, like oh, we are on the same level. We embrace the differences. We appreciate each other. But how? But there's all this conflict because they both are equal. So let's fight. Yeah.
Means what you say?
लड़ाई करेंगे क्योंकि हम equal है. I got the power, he got the power. Now there's a power struggle. Yeah. That's the question. Like, yeah, we talk about the differences. Okay, male are different.
One minute, let me just you can reply to me.
But Abu-
See, do we should fight or we should both try to achieve something good? Which one is good?
I'm talking about not the physical fight. Like, can be arguments. Sometimes they
Argument.
get out of control. Which becomes
That's what
domestic
I'm saying.
violence.
It goes out of control. Or you go.
Yeah, you mean to say like, how do we agree to disagree?
That's correct.
Yeah.
And also, like, how, I think this is not being recognized, like, we have this problem. All we talk about is like, we are different, men are different, women is different, we come a long way. My question is, yes, we accept the differences. We embrace each other's weaknesses and strengths. But having said that, we are equal. We're talking about women empowerment. Like before we had men at a high level, now you have women who are equally strong, they're professional, they're working. So my point is, how do you tackle the problem in a married life when both are equal? They are physically, they're strong, they're athletes, like they're scientists, they're everywhere. So that's, but I have been in Australia for the past 35 years, and domestic violence is a huge problem, especially the people coming from overseas. When I say overseas, people coming from India. So how do you look at this problem? Like, do you have any suggestions, any ideas? Because I really enjoyed talking to you, and I heard, but just concerned, and I would like to, would appreciate if you can give us some insights, like how do you deal with the situation?
Usually, in the Vaishnava community, we overemphasize on this Vinadapi Surichena Tarorava Krishna. That one should be very humble, one should be tolerant like a tree, humble like a blade of fake grass. And if we want to go back home, back to Godhead, we should concentrate and focus on our mistakes and try to forgive and forget, always give a benefit of doubt. All that is fine. But when it comes to domestic violence, we never say that tolerate abuse. No, abuse is not tolerated. So yeah, you fight back. But generally, on little things, whenever possible, if we learn to tolerate, we learn to become humble, then that's a good virtue, because that is the one which will take us back home, back to Godhead. So I always tell them that when there is a fight, it may happen sometimes and maybe 99.9% the other person is wrong, and probably you are wrong 0.1%. But that 0.1% is keeping you away from Krishna. So the whole point is, whatever this arrangement that we are looking to now, it's a temporary arrangement. The partner whom you are with is a temporary situation, and that's not permanent. So we look at the bigger picture and we deal appropriately. So we don't fight every battle, then we will lose the war. That which needs to be fought needs to be fought. That which needs to be spoken needs to be spoken. Like Narad Muni, he told the disciple, snake disciple, hey, you become a devotee now, so don't bite anybody. So next time when Narad Muni visits the snake, people have kicked him and bleeding and he's suffering. And Narad Muni said, what happened to you? He said, Guruji, you told me be humble and don't bite, so I didn't bite. So Narad Muni said, I told you not to bite, but you're supposed to hiss. If you hiss, people will be afraid. So yes, we don't tolerate abuse. We keep the bigger picture in mind that yes, we have to learn the virtues of being humble and tolerant. At the same time, we don't tolerate abuses. And coming to about men and women, see, even if there are many opportunities now that they are equally able to work, but then there are always physical differences also in the body structure. Yes, there are certain limitations that a woman has, and even with physical strength and all. So keeping all that in mind, but then again at the same time they are equal in certain fronts. So yeah, wherever they are equal, they go together. Wherever there is, it's like helping each other, just like the 4 tires of the car. Sometimes some tires are in the front, some are in the back, and together they go together. So yes, domestic violence is a strict no-no of tolerating.
and wherever we need to speak, we need to speak. Yes, Guru. Go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji. So I have a question when you said related to the sannyasis, right? They are already on that motorway, right? So they are tracking fast, moving towards their goal of reaching towards Vrindavan, right? So Grihasta people, right? At what point of time they can take a exit and go to the motorway so that they can reach their goal faster?
So, as I also told that, initially in the Vedic age, there were these 4 ashrams. For 25 years, they used to stay in Guru's ashram and stay away from the parents and accept an austere life, serve Guru and Guru Patni, maintain celibacy, learn all the scriptures, and become so sense-controlled and have a clear picture of life. And then another 25 or 30 years, they used to enter into Grihasta life, where they used to do their Grihasta household duties. And then again, by the age of 50, they used to retire and become a vanaprastha and go to the forest. And that's how their life used to be. But nowadays, there is no forest even if you want to go to. So basically, what needs to be done is, while staying in the house itself, one withdraws from whatever activity is possible. I'll give you my personal life example. Come from a joint family, of course, not anymore, before my marriage. So I've seen all the generations in my house in Bombay together living very conducively, very happily. My grandfather had 5 sons. My father was one of them. And he voluntarily retired from the business. We had a books business in Bombay. And he used to have such a wonderful routine. Get up in the morning, walk to the temple, come back, have prasadam. Then his age people, those were his age people, they used to all meet and talk, take a little rest in the afternoon. Evening again goes to the temple, do some bhajan, chant his rounds. And then when my father and uncles come back, just check on them. So how's everything? Is there any help you require? Oh no, we are doing well. Oh, that's good. That's all, and not interfering. And even my own grandmother also, just doing her duties of spiritual duties and guiding, and they were not interfering in their life, And then I've seen my uncles and my father, they took over, and now I see my brothers, my cousins and all, same routine is followed. Now they are taking care of the business, and these people, they go for Vrindavan, Mayapur, Puri, Yatras, they come back and they don't interfere. So such wonderfully the whole cycle is going. So though they are not gone to the forest, they are living there, they are there. You can turn to them for any advice, but they are not interested in day-to-day life. They are happily chanting their rounds and reading scriptures, going for yatra. At the same time, they have a privilege of being taken care by the younger generation in case if they need any medical help. So that's how the Grihasta life is. So one needs to be attached. That means you are detached from the family life. At the same time, you are attached to doing your duty properly. You do it as a duty. So yeah, I'm just remembering one story. Yeah, there was this one acharya called Ramanuja, and he gives sannyas, to those who are asking for it. So there was this one man who came to him saying that my wife just expired yesterday. It's been 40 years that we are married now. Just look at me. There's not even one tear. I'm completely detached. Please give me sannyas. So he says, all right, fine, sit down. Okay, next. Other person is crying and falling down. And everybody's speaking up. Oh, I lost my son. I lost my only son. I can't live without him. I can't live without him. I better die. Or just give me sannyas. I don't know what to do now. So immediately Ramanuja said, okay, come on, sit down, make a fire sacrifice and give him sannyas. This man said, this is crazy. I'm completely detached. I didn't want to cry a drop for my wife. This man is completely attached in Maya. And you give him sannyas and you don't give me sannyas. So then Ramanuja said, he has so much love and affection for his son. Now it is very easy for me to just dovetail that love and affection from the son to Krishna. Very simple for me. But you guy have lived with your wife for 40 years. You have no affection for her. You didn't even cry a tear. So you have no love. So I can't create love in somebody. If you have love, I can only dovetail it from material things to spiritual things. But I get married again and get some attachment and then come back because I can't create love. I can just dovetail that love. So yeah, it's not like as devotees we are waiting to be detached from everybody and I'm just going to do my no. It's just that we just know the right equation, how much, like a chemist just knows the right kind of proportion, how much to do and when. Because I've seen people, even at the fag end of their lives, I mean, like they still want to interfere in every little thing that happens in the house. Even if there is mother-in-law or daughter-in-law, whatever. This is what my daughter-in-law should do. This is how she should talk. This is what she should cook today. This is what. So, yeah, at one point of time, one should just relax and focus on Krishna. So, yeah. And not. See, the whole point is we get so busy in proving to people that how intelligent we are, convincing them in our point, and pouring water and nourishing our false ego. That has to be given up. We have to retire. We have to take a back seat. So that is what a Grihasta can do. They cannot take an exit like sannyasi and go to the motorway. They need to still stay in those lanes, but stay detached.
Thank you.
That's it. Anybody else? Anybody else? Yes.
Feeling blessed to be in front of blessed couples. My question is from Ramayana.
What do we learn from the Ravana and Mangotri couple? Because Mangotri has empowered Ravana in such a way that it will turn around to have an arrow on his stomach. So, what do we learn from this couple?
Are you trying to say that though Ravana was on the wrong side, Mandodari is supporting him?
Yes.
And what is her role as a wife and what she did is right or wrong?
Yes.
Yeah, notice there are two ways of looking at things. The one is, the duty of a wife is to guide the husband in the right direction. So that is why you see Sita Mata, she gave very beautiful instructions. Anasuya, what is it? Anasuya, sorry. Atri and Anasuya, they were staying in the forest. When Sita Mata and Ram went for exile, then Sita Mata used to go to Anasuya in Chitrakoot and help her with cutting of roots and fruits and cooking and also. Sita Mata was a young girl at that time, maybe like 13 or 14 years old, and Anasuya used to give her a lot of nice instructions. So one of the instructions that Anasuya gave Sita Mata is that the duty of a wife is to guide the husband in the right direction, because just I talked about left brain and right brain. There are certain things that the men are good at, but there are certain things, that is why a husband and wife is called like a couple, because they complete each other. Because sometimes the women get too emotional, like we see in the case of Sati, Parvati and Shiva, when she says, I want to go to my father's house, I want to go to my father's house, and Shiva is guiding, don't do that, you will be insulted and you will feel bad, because he can think logically and women think emotionally. And there are some places where men can be so dry and women needs to tell them, don't do that, what you're doing is wrong, it's so heartbreaking, because they are the emotional part of it. So that is how they are like complete thing. So what happens here, you see Mandodari, she's a virtuous lady. She's very chaste to her husband, and she did give the right advice. If you see in Ramayana, they are very special ladies. Even Tara, the wife of Vali, she was very intelligent. When Sugriva came and challenging Vali, come out, I want to fight. Tara said, don't go, my dear husband, don't go. Because the way he's speaking, so confidently he's challenging you, looks like somebody is helping him, don't go, this is not right for you. He said, oh, you're very emotional, come on, don't worry, women, I will just go. And then he got killed. So Mandodari also, it says in the scriptures that she did guide Ravana. Hare Krishna, she did guide Ravana. Hare Krishna, that don't do this, and somebody else's wife, just keep her back, because everything is becoming inauspicious in Lanka, don't do that. But Ravana did not listen. But the good part is, according to Manusmriti, if the wife does anything wrong, it is also in Haribhakti Vilas, if the wife does anything wrong, the husband has to take karma. If the husband does anything wrong, wife does not need to take karma. If husband does anything good, like let's say he chants 16 rounds, then the 8 rounds karma, good karma goes to wife. But if he does anything bad, it does not. Similarly, if wife chants 16 rounds, nothing goes to husband, everything is done. But I'm sorry, but that's the truth. But if she does anything wrong, then it goes to her. So it is there in Hari Bhakti Vilas. In fact, it says that if a Shishya does anything wrong, then that sin goes to the Guru. If a citizen do anything wrong, the sin goes to the king. If the family members do anything wrong, the sin goes to the head of the family. But if the husband does anything wrong, it doesn't come to wife. So Mandodari, she did her duty. She told Ravan, this is not the right thing to do. At the same time, she did her duty as a wife. Wife is supposed to follow the husband, so she just stayed put in the palace, guided him, and stayed there. There was nothing else that was in her hand. And Ravana went ahead and did whatever she wanted to do. So, since you asked for a lesson, she did her duty, whatever she's supposed to do. So like that, one is supposed to do one's duty. But one cannot be attached that the person whom you have instructed will follow your instruction. Then that you are getting into Krishna's place. That is Krishna's job. We are only supposed to do our duty. Whether they will follow or not and what will be the consequences, that the Lord will decide. But you should do your duty. Sometimes even in our context, if the wife is warning the husband, this is not the right thing to do, what you are doing. After that also if he goes ahead, materially, immediately consequences, everybody will suffer, even the wife. Because if the husband does something wrong, let's say in finance or not, definitely, in this life maybe, but yeah, the coming life, the sin is not on her head. So she doesn't suffer because she did the right thing. I'll just complete this, 2 minutes, it's okay? Yeah. It's not that she empowered or made, see, because she was a chaste wife, according to the scriptures, if a wife is chaste, then automatically the husband becomes very powerful. So it's not particularly that she has done something. As a wife, it is her duty that she wants that her husband should be strong, safe, and have a long life. That every wife will. But particularly she has not encouraged him that you go and kidnap or you do something. He was misusing his power, which is not her fault.
One minute, just one minute. See, traditionally, it's not that like a sit-in that man, women. But traditionally, women also very powerful. So she was knowing the scripture. It's like she said about it, but if you see our tradition, even the marriage also, Swayamvar, it's not that somebody will choose one boy for you. What happened that, okay, here is a 10, 15 boy whom you want to select. Here is the biodata, you tell me what. So traditionally, our scripture is very open. It's not closed, not very, so they were very brilliant. All those, Damayanti, everybody, Atri, Anusha, others, very, very, very powerful. They could understand things. It's not that Vedic tradition means women, they don't know. They were very smart. But like you see in India, even sometimes some normal lady, she marries some boy and then guides the girl, boy to, and they to work together, there is something. See, it all depends, that's what I'm saying, that all should tolerate each other and see what we can do maximum. Not fault finding, I'm great, he's great. Both becomes.
Actually, there is a mantra. Ahalya Sita Tara Sati Mandodari Panchaganamam Smaranam Nityam Mahapapam Nashanam. Isn't it? Do you do that? We used to do that mantra when we were young girls and remember them because of their chastity. Okay, time is up. Thank you so much. Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So this is the December marathon month and we can share this knowledge with others if anybody is interested.
Also take purchase some books.
Buy the books. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.